The idea for this film came to me in 1993 when I was living in India, in Lucknow, with my spiritual master Papaji. One day I was sitting in my garden and I felt an inner message telling me to go and catch the great Indian masters on film before they passed away. At that time, I had no idea how to make such a film, but at the same time I was very touched by the idea and I must have kept it for a later date. 10 years later, I took a personal retreat in South India at the holy mountain Arunachala, where the great Indian sage Ramana Maharshi lived until 1950. Sri Ramana taught two principal paths to self-realization. One is the path of knowledge, using self-inquiry, and the other is the path of devotion, surrender to the self. I found that some people think his greatness comes from the fact that his mind had been destroyed. This notion is also believed by many of the world's seekers who are searching for no mind. I asked myself whether it was possible to be alive and have a destroyed mind. So finally, years after the initial message, this question gave me the push to get a camera and start the first of many journeys through India. Each year I go to India with a group of students. So over the years we visited the masters and made the interviews. With this film, I want to offer a platform for each master to put his or her blueprint out into the world. Many Western seekers come to India looking for enlightenment as though it is an experience. What is enlightenment? So it's not something to be obtained from the outside.
No. Inside. You are dead.
Enlightenment is, who is trying for enlightenment, he must be disappear. That is enlightenment.
Such a short answer?
Only one sentence.
See, always this mind wants something higher. If you go to the material world, it wants to be rich. If you go to the emotional world, it wants to be loved. If it is a spiritual, it wants enlightenment. Always the higher things mind seeks. There is no such thing like enlightenment. There is no such thing as awaken. We are already that. We are already illuminated. We are not ignorant to be enlightened.
Are there any qualifications for enlightenment?
Qualifications? What qualifications? You need to be alive, that's all. The first requirement to be awakened, to be enlightened, is to be alive. To be alive like a child. Look at the child. To be alive like a flower. To be alive like a bird. Can you do it? How can you be alive? Unless you just totally be free from that whole dead past. Unless you are available to now. This very moment. If you connect here, then you are alive. To be alive means to be bubbling with life inside. With all the problems, with all the pain. There is a dance inside, there is a song inside. That is to be alive. To be spontaneous.
ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಂತಾಗಲಿ. ಈ ಅಲಂಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಬೀಳಬಾರದು.
So he says the truth is inside.
ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸಿಪ್ಪೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ ಇದು?
We should throw away the skin.
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕವರ್ ಉಂಟು.
It has been suggested that the mind must be destroyed for liberation to occur. Do you have a mind? How to destroy the mind?
The world is, if it is real, it cannot be destroyed. If it is not real, it need not be destroyed. Suppose I say the world is to be destroyed, you will be trying to destroy the world and you will find you cannot destroy the world. And mind should go. Why should it go? The mind doesn't stay, it has no staying power. Mind is thoughts. If it is thoughts, a thought doesn't stay more than a moment. It's wonderful because the mind is great because it doesn't stay. You can see motion because the mind doesn't stay. Suppose the mind, the thought moves slowly. Suppose you see my hand moving, you will see my hand coming like this. Like in some animations. Rama goes to the forest. See the smoothness. Why? Because the mind is momentary. What is to? Why should you destroy? It destroys itself.
At the end of his book, Self-Inquiry, Ramana mentions Jivan Mukta as the enlightened state. Are there stages of enlightenment?
If you ask a saint, who are you? He will say, I am the all-pervading truth. My body is the entire universe.
And so the second stage is to establish in this universe.
And he lives a normal life. He doesn't need any more practice. He's already established in it.
Is that why it seems that most saints live a very ordinary, simple life?
That's right.